Welcome to the Chamber Workshop Series. The Colorado River Valley Chamber of Commerce exists to be a catalyst, collaborator, and champion for our businesses and our communities. The Garfield County Libraries seek to connect our communities to a world of possibilities. These two organizations have joined forces to meet the needs of our business community through education and collaboration. Tonight's workshop features Joshua Bassett and Aiden Kershwitz. Joshua is the founder and chief strategist of Independent World, and Aiden is the director of Multimedia. Joshua is an accomplished marketing professional with over 20 years of experience shaping brands and executing high-impact campaigns for industry giants like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, the Super Bowl, and the state of Colorado, as well as numerous small businesses across the country. And in 2022, he founded Independent World, where he has assembled a team of passionate marketing experts dedicated to helping organizations of all sizes achieve greatness through innovative strategies and results-driven solutions. Please help me in welcoming Josh and Aiden.
Wow. Thank you, Erin. I feel like I need to put you in my pocket because you're just a hype person for me. My name is Joshua Bassett, and I am the founder of Independent World. I started the company a couple years ago, and we are here today to talk about multimedia content. And I have a really wonderful team. We have Katie here, we have Aiden. There is also Will, Lindsay, Yolanda, and Eva. The companies that we work with, they range from national companies to small local businesses. I do have a lot of experience working with Fortune 500 companies like Coca-Cola, worked there for many years, and then also on the agency side for Pepsi, managing the relationship between the Super Bowl and a lot of experiential campaigns. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about multimedia content and multimedia production and how that can impact your business. So Aiden, right here, who is our director of multimedia, he is going to walk us through exactly what it is, why you need it, why it's awesome, and all the things. So Aiden, take it away, buddy.
So multimedia is pretty much anything that you guys use in order to communicate an idea or a story of your business to your audience or your customer base. So video and drone, photography, audio, text, any sort of graphic design. Definition of multimedia goes into the combination of two forms of media. So with video, you could have text on top, or the same with an image. You could have a podcast with information in a text bio, or anything like that. Standing out right now is harder than it's ever been, and that's just because everybody's trying to get the attention of viewers. So it can be challenging to face that, but with good design and strategy behind your multimedia, you can very easily find your audience. And so we just kind of went over what multimedia is, and this is how we use that in marketing. So first we kind of identify your target audience. Knowing who you're going to be talking to is really important for how you position your media. And that determines your messaging in that media. We can distribute it through multiple means: email campaigns, websites, social media ads. And then from that, we can track data to see how well those campaigns worked, what worked, what didn't, and kind of go back and forth. And from there, we'll optimize that and create a more effective media for your marketing. When those are combined, we can see more engagement, you build trust in your audience, you can attract leads, and you're more memorable. You stick in the minds of your customer base. So these are some of the platforms that we can leverage in multimedia on in order to get the message out there. So having a website for your business is incredibly important. Utilizing social media often. Email marketing, kind of keeping in the inbox of everybody that you know. Ads, more forced push in terms of getting eyes on your media, and then events and live presentations just like this one.
All right, so we put together some quick examples of just ways to really feature great multimedia content. So as Aiden went through, using videos and multimedia on websites is very key. On digital ads is very important. On social media. So we've all seen these. We see these every single day. So we just have some really good examples of just videos that, good example videos. So the first one that we're going to look at is by a company named Butter. And they feature on the second row of their video, or of their website, they feature a 2-minute tour video, and it showcases their product, and it showcases just the service that they provide. So we're not going to watch the entire video, but you can see they're telling their story. You can learn about it. They're pumping their own brand and the vibe of their company. You can feel and understand and retain a lot of information just by this video. So to feature this on their website is super key. It's very impactful. So website videos, I definitely recommend that for any company that wants to really tell their story quickly, just quickly and on their website. All right, let's go to, all right, so here's an example of a video ad that we produced for our local rifle farmers market. We love the farmers market. So there's actually 2 ads. The first ad is a very simple ad with different messaging points. And then the second ad is a drone shot. So we're going to go through them both. Here's the first one. All right, so this super simple ad, it has a music bed. There's text on top of the images and the videos. This uses stock imagery, actual images from the farmer's market, and text overlay. This video on a very small ad buy got tens of thousands of views in a very small community. So we know that certain ad types are going to perform very well in certain regions, and people like farmers market. They want to know about it. They'll watch it. All right, let's go to another example.
Which platform did you use for that ad? Where did you?
Yeah, that one was deployed on Facebook and Instagram, so through Meta.
Because that's where our market was. We watched movies and then
All right, so this is the same vibe, but we took the drone out and we can show people the farmer's market in addition to the community of rifle. It looks cool. Like, that just looks cool. It looks great. So this also received tens of thousands of views, and that's unique people throughout our region. And honestly, like, these videos and the rebrand that we did for the farmers market that was tied to their website redesign, it had a massive impact on the summer farmers market. More people came out, and the messaging was your Friday night hangout. So people are like, let's hang out, know where we're meeting on Friday night, and it all worked together. And like, this campaign was super successful. The farmers market. All right, here's a couple more examples. Again, drone features, text overlay. This is promoting the grand opening of a new clinic in Denver called Central Focus. So this ad was deployed on Meta also, and I believe also on LinkedIn.
It was.
And we ran like a 2-month campaign behind it. And they got referrals on this campaign from Evergreen, from Conifer, from Breckenridge, from Gypsum, from not only the Front Range, but like it reached out into the foothills too, which was super cool.
Central Focus is great with the wide span of providers that we have here. People have their own individual specialties, whether it's certain types of neuropsychological assessment or certain approaches for therapy or medication management. and you can come handle all of those appointments in one place. It makes it very easy and streamlined to get your care and get feeling better faster.
So this ad compared to the other ad is just different. The other ad was all visuals. It was graphics of the area, and then the messaging came through text. This was a talking head. It was Dr. Tricia Jeffers talking about giving you a reason why, and then it also showcases her personality, and it showcases her as a person, and she's very approachable. She's super nice, and she's very just a great professional. So like that resonates with whoever watches it. So we deployed both of these ads during the same campaign, and they truly hit different emotional strings, but the campaign worked. And we know that because the data tells us that. There were a lot of views, there were a lot of reach, and people reached out to schedule appointments. All right, we're gonna do two more. And this one is for Rambo's Grand Hogback Extravaganza. Boom. And this has no sound, it's just quick images. Quick, quick, quick. This is the first one that we did. For those who don't know, the Grand Hogback Extravaganza has been rescheduled for October 25th between 9 and 1. So this is it right here. We put a QR code on this one. So if it pops up on people's desktops, they can get their card or get their phone and go straight to the link and register. But this is a super cool, like a GIF sort of image with some motion. All right, so one of the things that we really promote when we do a website build is multimedia content. And there are certain organizations and certain companies where you want to lean more into multimedia. It just makes more sense because you have a story to tell, you have things to feature. On this website, there is a homepage header video. Thank you, Aiden. Let's see. Let's do this one. Did we lose the internet?
There's a potential.
All right, I think we lost the internet. That's okay. All right, so we're going to go on. So those are just great examples of how to use multimedia content, how to feature it. So why multimedia works. Aiden already talked about this, but it truly grabs the attention and it builds trust and it drives results. And it's easier to tell the story, whatever story that is, through video, opposed to a photo or through text. Viewers retain 95% of a message when it's through video. Video on landing pages can boost conversions by 80%. These are really important statistics. In just basic, like the brain processes images 60,000 times faster than text. That's a fact. Visual content increases memory retention and brain recall. So because of that, we always recommend multimedia content. Aiden, why don't you just finish this one up?
So these are different examples of kind of more ways you can leverage multimedia to grow your business. And so especially if you have something that's not known about or you want to get the word out, you can choose to do a podcast and speak at length about what you're talking about. 54% of listeners say they're more likely to buy from brands that they hear in podcasts, especially with the big podcast boom. This is a great way to leverage kind of a longer form media in your marketing. And then interactive content directly leads to higher engagement. And this is things like surveys, games, forms, anything where your audience is interacting with something to give you almost direct data. Interactive media gets double the engagement of static content. So most people will just scroll by. You'll have twice a chance to get someone to just click a link and go through. It also increases the time they're spending on your website or on your social media page.
All right, quick wins for local businesses. Would you consider your business a local business?
For now.
All right, cool. So add video to your website. Super easy way to do that. So you can add video to your website. Share behind the scenes Instagram reels. You know, working in the office today, Morgan and B kicking butt. Run a targeted video ad campaign. So the way that digital ads work is that you select where you want to run them. So if we live in Western Slope, Colorado, and Rifle, and we want to promote the ice cream shop in the middle of town, we're not going to promote that in Grand Junction, and we're not going to promote that in Glenwood. We might promote in Glenwood, but we're going to promote it in Rifle, the zip code of Rifle, 81650, and I think the minimum that you can do is 10 miles. Is it 10 or 20?
10.
10. So Rifle plus 10 miles, and that's a big radius of where this ad will hit. Or you can do it plus 100 miles or 1,000 miles. So run a targeted video ad campaign, start a short form podcast or interview series, and then repurpose one asset across multiple platforms. So film a piece of content and then place that content on your website, and then create a shorter version that you can place in a video ad, and then make a different version that's more in-depth for social. So using the same things, just multiple ways. And then taking the main video and then putting in your e-newsletter, and you say, check out our awesome company and what we're doing. All right, DIY versus partnering with an agency. So obviously, if you're a new company and you don't have a lot of revenue and you have to, you know, you gotta figure this out without a big budget. You can do it yourself, and there are benefits and there are pluses for that. You know, benefits and so DIY is time consuming. For all of this to do it yourself is time consuming. There's a learning curve. You have to learn how to produce it, how to edit it, how to place it. However, if you're good at it and you can do it, it's budget friendly. You don't have to pay somebody to do it, which is great. And then limited quality. When you're a novice and you do it as a hobby, you're limited on your capabilities. That's just how it is. So when you use a creative agency like Independent World, we do it for you, so it's not time consuming. Professional experience, higher ROI, and then strategic creative. So we do this every single day for many different clients. And our approach is based on our experience. We've seen what works, we've seen what doesn't work, and we really have a great idea based on the organization on how to achieve excellence. So, all right, budget and costs. How much does it cost to produce multimedia content? Aaron, you hit me up 8 months ago. You're like, hey, give me some numbers. What can you do? I need some videos. And the cost, I've worked on projects for $500. I've worked on projects for $5 million and everything in between. When we're talking about the approach is always based around the budget. So you always want to lead with, all right, I have $5,000 dedicated to multimedia production, and I want to use that in a variety of ways. So it all depends on what you need, when you need it, and what it's going to take to produce it. Is it going to require multiple shoot days? That's a big factor. You know, how many days is it going to take? How many team members are going to be required? Is it just Aiden and I, or do we need our team of 5 or 6 people, where it's a massive production? Do we need to outsource to another partner agencies? But there are many ways to approach it. But when it comes to a small business in Rifle or the Western Colorado, you can really make an impact. You can produce a piece, and that you could produce it for a couple thousand, 10,000, 20,000. All depends on the quantity and what it is. And then you can use that piece and then place it in your digital ads. You can put it in your e-newsletters. You can put it on your website. So there's a lot of people who are just like, I need an ad for a commercial, to a digital ad to place on Meta and LinkedIn. So we go in, we produce it, and then we deploy it. And that could be a couple $1,000, $1,000, $10,000. Again, it all depends on what we're doing. So yeah, let's go to brainstorm. We have, B, what's your company's name?
Forward Cadence.
Forward Cadence, I knew that. So let's brainstorm. Forward Cadence. So I know that you are a very new company, but in what ways are you currently utilizing multimedia content for your organization? That's a question for you. And then what multimedia content makes an impact in your industry? So we'll start with the first one. How are you currently using multimedia?
We're currently not using, we just have our website right now.
Okay.
So, but one way that we could do that is for, like we have lead magnets that we're developing, and so.
Can you repeat that? Yeah, what?
Lead magnets
Okay.
that we're producing. So for like a landing page that you had mentioned, like we could like talk through what the resources that they're downloading versus just like having text for them to download.
Exactly. Cool. Awesome. Okay. Do you have any questions or let's see, takeaways? Multimedia content makes your message stick. Strategy and creativity equals standout success, and you don't need to do it alone. You're not the professionals. Making multimedia content, some people love it, other people hate it, and it's hard for them, and it's not easy. So, but fortunately, the tools that we have now compared to 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you had to hire somebody like us. Now, there's a lot more tools for people to do it themselves. So the DIY option, that's a legitimate option for a lot of people. But again, your quality is limited. So, questions, and hopefully answers following that.
That's what I'm saying, hopefully.
Guys have any questions?
I don't think so. This is
Okay.
great. Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
There's so much I want to do. We can't do this.
Right. And it's phases. It's all phases. Like when you're a new company, you're limited on what you can do. You start with the DIY and you're like, all right, I need this one thing and it has to be good. I want you to do that. And then once your company grows and grows and you have more, to spend on that, that's when you invest in it. So.
And part of the challenge is that some of these platforms are really quite complex, and they have a lot going on behind the scenes, like Facebook. So we spend so much time not only researching the updates, but we're also in it with so many clients that we start to see the patterns and gain really knowledge of where to do what.
Well, I want to start with a comment first, going back to, we did have a conversation and we did talk some numbers, and I was actually a little shocked at how affordable it was. And so that, whereas before, it really wouldn't, I wouldn't even considered it for some things, kind of gave me a little bit of hope that maybe that, working with a professional is in our future, that our budget can support it, that sort of thing.
And we love giving friends and family discounts like the one we gave to you to the people that we truly love. So, but yeah, no, you're right. We can work with budgets. It's all like the budget dictates the approach, always. So we can make a website header video using stock imagery that we have access to. That's great, and we can bust that out for not very much, a couple $100 maybe. So like, it doesn't need to be you're spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Especially for what I know the return will be for us.
Totally.
So I appreciate that. And then obviously we would always direct everybody to the wonderful staff in the world for all of their multimedia needs.
Yeah.
Should we choose to use the DIY options, what are some really tried and true different companies, websites, platforms, applications that we can use that will help us do that? Are we using YouTube? Are we using, is there something with Google Drive? What should we do?
I can take it too.
Yeah, go for it.
So when it comes to like the DIY option, I think it's really dependent upon what your project is. So it's going to look different for a website build out versus a paid social media ad campaign versus a website video.
Well, no, go on.
And so In terms of like platforms to use, there's now we have online editors. There's AI tools that you can look into to help along with the process and kind of give you an idea of what's going on. Posting on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, any social media platform that's connected to your website is always going to be beneficial. So that's kind of the direction I'd head. But in terms of what you're going to use, it's going to be very dependent upon the project that you're kind of working on.
Let's say she wants to make a quick video ad for the chamber to promote this event.
Yeah, so for example, if we're making like a 30-second video ad that's going to go onto a social media platform, there's a website called CapCut, which is a fully online editing platform that's super easy to use for kind of first-time or beginner editors. And then that platform itself has tools that integrate directly to social media, so you don't even have to export, download the video, and then upload it. You can just shoot it straight to your social media.
There's a lot of different editing programs and out there, DIY.
Canva is a great option as well.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that Adobe's trying to take over the Canva market. They're doing like prime time marketing to like dive into it because they know that the consumers are out there and that we're always going to be asking for more tools and bells and whistles.
Those are some solid leads, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, Aaron?
Nothing jumps out right at the moment.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having us today.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you, guys.